my name is Alexandra McQueenie, and this is my narrative speech assignment. Here's my audience, say hello. And here we go. Okay, so I grew up in a very religious family, and every year during my high school career, I went to a very religious camp called Wildwood. Each year, Wildwood had a different theme. For instance, my first theme was draw. It was all about drawing near to God. But the second year was the one that really stood out to me. It was all about missionaries and the things that they have to go through in order to complete their job. But it wasn't the theme that really made it stood out. It was something that I learned after dinner on the third night of my stay. The counselors split us into groups of about into 4 groups of about 10 people each. And they sent us one by one into the woods to find a secret meeting place that we weren't supposed to tell anyone about. My group was the third to go, and 10 minutes after the first group went, we heard gunshots. So everyone freaked out. We looked at counselors and directors, and they all reassured us that it was okay, but none of us really felt all that reassured. Nonetheless, least of all me. My mind was racing. I couldn't understand why people would bring guns to a camp for teenagers and why they would be firing them in the woods in the first place. And after the second group went, there were more gunshots, so I knew it was going to be unavoidable. Finally, our group went up. The trip up the mountain was eerily silent. My group was typically full of laughter and jokes and humor, but we could hear the crickets chirping. Suddenly, 3 masked people came up to us with guns, and they yelled at us, told us to get on the ground. I dropped down, I hit the decks with my face in the ground, my hands up. I wasn't going to look at or talk to anyone. However, after a little while, one of the men started targeting one of the girls in my group a bit more than all of the others, and she started to get really flustered and scared. So when there was a question that she just couldn't answer, I stepped up and I answered it for her. And that got the guy's attention, so he started asking me more questions. And after a few, I started to make headway with him. It sounded like he was being a little bit more open to our ideas and our ideals. So he asked me what needed to happen in order for someone to be saved. I answered him to the best of my ability, and I thought that it went well. But 2 seconds later, he shot his friend that was next to him and came up to me. He was standing 4 inches away from my face when he looked me in the eye and asked, "Are you saying that that man that I just shot is going to hell?" I met his gaze with my own. And I tried to show as little fear as I possibly could when I responded, "If he was not God's, then yes." I closed my eyes after that because I thought that I was next. I could almost feel the barrel of the gun on my temple. But after a little while, nothing happened. So I opened my eyes again, and he was 4 paces away, hands on his head, shaking. He lifted his gun into the air, fired off 3 rounds, and told us to leave and never come back. So we all got up and got the hell out of there. After we were safe, though, the other girls came up to me and thanked me. I thought that it was so weird. Why would they thank me for doing something that anyone would do? But the counselor came up to me and told me that even she wouldn't have done what I did. But, of course, I thought that it was crazy and just totally normal, but looking back, surrounded by all of that fear and darkness, I realized that was when I was at my best. Thank you.